who just don't enjoy the cunnilingus. All right. Tell us when we're live.
They been live, bitch.
I see no notification. Come on, Red Eye Report. We live, or we're just gonna keep talking about eating? Sweet. Tell us when we're live. Let's see.
All right, we're in.
Sweet. There we go. Bring up that beautiful feed footage while I talk about sweet pussy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's episode of the Red Eye Report, we're going to talk about the functional and dysfunctional aspects of life today in America, in the world in general.
Are you gonna make room for the black man, or is it just white people's opinion?
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be an
Just
episode
curious.
where we all get to bitch.
Oh,
So
awesome,
Teddy,
cool.
you get a stage to bitch about, 'cause there's plenty of dysfunction.
Word.
You're like, what functions more than my dick? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, with us as always, though, we have the sweet cheek loving Teddy. He's functional as a father, but dysfunctional at the polite necessities of white society.
Oh,
They may be absurd, but they're tradition, Teddy.
oh, they're stupid. They're white people. Fuck them crackers.
Next to him, we have the Cataract Oracle. He's functional at fine-tuning his Thrustmaster steering wheel settings.
Goddamn right.
Completely dysfunctional at calculating the cubic gallons of insurance coverage for his jacuzzi clients at his new job.
You son of a bitch. Fucking hate you.
They're fat Americans. Always round up 25 gallons. Look over the man with no mirror, Mystic. He's functional at breaking news video editor, but dysfunctional at giving a fuck. At all. He hasn't found a fuck to give since the last Clutch album.
I wouldn't consider that dysfunction whatsoever.
Have you guys heard the newest Clutch album?
I own it.
And
Boom,
Pivot
bitch.
back to your host tonight, Ashtray. He's functional as an alcoholic and drug addict blowhard who could still tear up a barn dance, but dysfunctional at keeping his hips still when the Amish ask him to spend the night for a soak. And this is the Red Eye Report.
Well, when you're soaking, you're supposed to keep your hips still. The people, your friends, rock the bed for you.
Oh, really? That's allowed?
That's a good idea.
So what I've heard about soaking was that they do it in the bunk bed. They soak at the top, and then their friends rock the bunk bed at the bottom, so that way they're having sex or not having sex.
So it's a team effort. Okay.
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Not bad.
And if that's how you have to deal with your religion, then guess what? Your religion is wrong. Okay?
Mommy lost her virginity in a bunk bed
Yeah, right?
No, she didn't. We were
with two of
soaking.
Daddy's friends down below.
Yeah. They forgot to put a shim under one of the legs.
Just like Jesus intended.
God.
Pause for
Poor
the cause.
Amish. All right, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we do a pause for the cause. Tonight's Dane County Humane Society pet is a chinchilla named Buzz Baldwin.
Wow.
At least it's not a gerbil named Buzz Baldwin.
So what happened
Yeah.
to Buzz? How did Buzz end up?
Oh, yeah, they tried to send him to the moon. But instead, he landed on the neighbor's roof. Broke a leg. Taken away by the authorities.
Here's the Buzz.
The Buzz Baldwin. May he still roll. Any of you guys ever own a chinchilla? I've never. They seem like weird little, monster hamsters. They're kind of big.
Yeah, I think they spray
Oh,
really badly.
fuck, man. As a farm kid, any pet that sprays, get the fuck out the house.
Yeah.
Cool if you're outside, but no.
No pet
All right.
skunks? What?
Oh, well, we had pet skunks, but we didn't keep them in the house. We're smarter than that.
Let's see my pics.
Yeah. All right. So tonight's episode is a slapdash. Ashtray doesn't have his fucking spelunking helmet on because it's not a deep dig. But was reading a newsletter by the old Connor Friedsdorf from The Atlantic, who's kind of like a nerdy He's, I don't know, I'd say a nerdy looking fucking Harry Potter dude. But I do like to read his articles. He's one of those who broke that story about the New York City, remember that like committee meeting with the politicians where the guy like had his friend was over at the house, and like her black baby, she like handed it to him, so he just was like bopping him on his knee, and the other woman at the city council meeting was like, oh, that's harmful to black people. Anyways, that's an example of dysfunction right now in America.
Mm-hmm.
But for as easy it is to find dysfunction in America and the world in general, we can't forget that there are still things functioning in the sense that it allows us to actually bitch about the dysfunctions collectively. For example, something that functions, my toilet still flushes. Shit goes away, I don't have to think about it. You might think it's trivial or, a priori, but don't ever think of that till it stops. And for the most part, plumbing, electricity, like the real basic civic things, at least here in America,
Mm-hmm.
They work and they're reliable. And it's only like when it does go down, everybody has a fucking uproar. But for the most part, like we're not living like in fucking Afghanistan or Pakistan right now where it's like, we can only have electricity for 3 hours a day. Or actually a better example would be Gaza, because they're walled off from the fucking rest of the world. These functions, look, give some examples in your lives of what would you consider something functional that's like, you know what, I rely on it. It works so much you don't think about it. Oracle. Sometimes it's hard to think about because these things function so predictably that you take it for granted.
I was looking at my draft board. Repeat the question, por favor.
My cock.
Think of something in your life that's actually like it's a system or an institution that's functional enough that like it works so well you take it for granted. Cock. So
Good
Mystic gets his
answer.
cock. Surprisingly, his
For me, it's Mrs. Cock. I mean,
Well,
really, I'm just being honest. He
so-
can't see it. He can't tell if I can see it.
Teddy lets
It
me know.
still lets him
Still do
piss,
it.
I guess. He's like, it functioned well enough. That's all I
Really,
need
really.
for it.
That's all we need.
Driving across the country a few times recently, I was actually surprised by how good my cell phone service was going through most of the country, which I think, these towers don't have that great of a range necessarily. So yeah, I mean, that's something that I take for granted.
Because you probably
so.
were using that as your GPS.
GPS, and well, that's another thing right there. GPS, actually.
Okay, so for me,
For the most part, unless you're in a complicated parking lot where it can't figure out where the fuck you're going.
yeah.
What the fuck? God.
Well,
Other than that, it
for me,
works.
it'd be my job, my tips. I do make a great hourly, and but I don't really care about my hourly because that's what pays my bills. I live off my tips and put that in savings. So when I don't make, I usually make a set amount of tips during the day, and if I don't do that, then it kind of that's what I take for granted. So
Yeah, well, I see that so what you're saying is that your general tip level is consistent enough
right,
that
it is.
you can function on a tip job, but your hourly actually is still enough too that it pays like your main necessary bills, which is for as much as people bitch about the tipping system or say like, oh, America's so backwards, I don't know, I kind of, and Teddy may agree, when you work in the service industry, you kind of almost feel like it wouldn't work to take it away in America because
also it wouldn't work to take it away in America because managers or business owners restaurant owners wouldn't want to tip, wouldn't want to pay servers what they should be making, because servers don't make minimum wage.
Right. Correct.
They make horribly less than minimum wage.
They make at the worst, it's like they make like $2.50 an hour.
$2.15.
$2.15.
Well, how do they make this work in other parts of the world?
Okay,
Well,
so
you mean
They don't
tipping?
tip.
in other
They
parts
don't-
of the
Yeah, I
world, it's all in the bill. So when we were in Europe, the first time we went to Europe was in Italy, and we went and sat in the shade in an outside cafe, whatever, just sit down to rest. And before, as we go to get up, the chick comes out and gives a bill for us. It was €3 for each of us that sat at that table because we took up a space there at that restaurant.
Just for sitting?
Sitting, we took up a space at the
Oh, you
restaurant.
didn't even order anything. Yeah.
So that's I mean that's a way
So
of
in a
handling
sense,
it.
because I've never traveled overseas in Europe like that. So is gratuity just always part of the bill?
Yeah,
It's-
because they pay them their employees
They
enough.
pay the employees enough. So
Yeah.
So their tipping is not in certain countries. Tipping is not okay. You
And
can't.
they
You
kind of
just-
frown upon.
Yeah, exactly, because they make enough to where you don't have to
They
tip.
won't even like accept it, I guess,
Yeah,
in Japan.
they're like, why are you leaving this money on my table?
Oh.
Like, get out of here.
Like in Australia, my sister said the minimum wage is like $19 an hour.
Damn.
Like everybody. So I mean, servers make $19 an hour. You know what I mean? Like they don't need tips. They can survive on their hourly
Right.
wage.
But the thing, and maybe just because it's so ingrained in America, and like as someone who
It's just like guns. You know what I mean?
sees that, yeah. Well, guns are easier to explain why it can be taken away because there's lead involved at high velocities. But tipping, like,
You know,
I-
in a Bill of Rights.
by making
No, it's not.
making good tips, it's like I in turn, like I tip better than average because I've been on that same side.
Oh, absolutely. Me too.
Where it's or like especially seeing my parents
But
when they like, oh, I'll get the meal, you know, and it's like you tipped 6%. What the fuck, you know,
What
like
the-
Yeah.
stop.
The thing is,
And then,
is
oh,
like
here's the, you know.
someone's job shouldn't be
Right, exactly.
contingent on getting people like you at their table every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure.
But at the same time, a lot of people don't know that restaurant workers, bartenders, and stuff don't make minimum wage. They think they're making either minimum wage or above minimum wage.
Maybe-
I call
maybe
bullshit
that's
on
their-
that. I call
Yeah.
bullshit on that. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, they should know in the sense
They
that
fucking know.
most
A
poor
lot-
people have.
What I've seen, a lot of people know. They just don't want to fucking acknowledge it. They
That's the
think,
excuse I get from a lot of from talking to people. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
know. So like my family, there's a stigma in the restaurants where you guys have worked in restaurants, you probably know that black people don't tip. Okay,
Right.
we are referred to as Canadians in the restaurants in America. So if you hear everybody say, I don't
So
want
if you see a group of black people, it's like, oh, there's Canadians at the table. we might not get
Canadians,
tips.
really?
if you hear a restaurant or restaurant worker talking about Canadians at their table, they're probably talking about black
About
people.
black
That's so
people? That's so
weird. Why
funny.
Canadians?
Well, because it's a great
You can't say I got a
opposite.
They
bunch of
can't
non-tipping
say,
niggas at my
they
table.
can't say the name.
Yeah. it's like the complete opposite
Yeah,
of
I
like
got some niggas
because
at my table,
everybody
they
thinks
could've
of
tipped.
Canadians as super polite and white as hell.
So because I worked in the restaurant business for so long, there are members of my family that call me. I'm like, hey, my bill is this much. I'm like, how much do I tip? I'm like, well, how good was the service? You know, and things like that. So
Yeah.
I start at 20 and it goes up or down depending.
Yeah. That's
see,
how
I start at 10 and it goes up and down depending on the place I'm at.
I guess one thing that I've
If I'm
thought,
at fucking like Applebee's, it starts at 10. So
one thing that
Yeah.
I've thought about working in terms of institutions, and I'm sure there are definitely exceptions throughout the country, but the environmental protections in general in the continental United States. I don't know about other areas or whatever, but there's a lot of green space in the U.S. And if you go to
Yeah.
other parts of the or other parts of the world, they don't have that, right? There's fucking
They're
trash
called-
and shit
they're
everywhere.
called golf courses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like there's not.
National parks.
Unfortunately,
everywhere.
it does come.
Right.
You know, to a degree, it's also because the government is the largest, landholder in the United States, which plenty of conservatives will be like, did you know the U.S. is the biggest fucking landlord in the United States? And my reply is always, well, duh. Like, would you rather be a big corporation? Like, who do you think it's going to be?
Right.
Like, of course the government is going to control, like, the
I thought
largest
the church
amount.
was the largest
I
landholder.
thought the Vatican was a landholder in countries and stuff. Like churches were.
Oh, I'm sure in some countries. The thing is, though, like, at least in America, especially when you count all the federal lands.
Well, yeah, and not just federal. You have state, you have county.
Yep, parks.
Right.
Nonetheless, oh, look at the puppies. Like, that actually is a good segue here for in this article. There's one of the, so these are different, like 13 different readers responded to talk, opining about dysfunction in the world. And D says, my job is preparing reports on historical resources in compliance with the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, almost exclusively for transportation projects. It's often forgotten that we're supposed to be determining if a property could be on the National Registry of Historic Places. There's a lot of what I describe as mission creep and lack of a common mission. History departments in the field are entirely staffed and run by people who are specialists in historic preservation. The effect is a fundamental orientation where the focus is preserving historical architecture first and facilitating road construction second. This isn't inherently bad, but there's no framework for evaluating the benefits of the project against the historic worth of the property. Personal preference for certain types of buildings or properties get into the mix. My colleagues and I are currently pushing pretty hard for what should be minor changes that would really streamline our process. But the responses are always, but this is how we've always done it. There's also the Peter Principle element, where folks in charge know more about the state's history than they do about process and management. There's a statewide meetings with all the government and consultant historians, with lots of us talking historic preservation, but nothing about how to actually better serve our end goal of building roads without bulldozing historically important properties. Another thing to consider would be actually having the government do my work instead of a web of consulting firms. It would put me out of a job, but if the Department of Transportation historians did the reporting instead of me, we would shave off a huge amount of time, as well as all the costs involved in the salaries of profits of consulting companies like mine. But DOT is funded in a project-based framework, which means it's easier for them to hire consulting companies for each project than to just hire more staff to do the job themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, yeah, that is like, think of all the layers he just described there of like, well, we're just going to, each one of these projects we're going to factor in, and then we're going to get these, we're going to hire all these consultants to weigh in there. And, you know, from his perspective, it's like, yeah, we want to preserve historic buildings, but at the same time, like, the whole point of this is a road project.
Mm-hmm.
How much money are we going to waste because you fucking history nerds are just all about like, well, we just got to preserve the history no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way we do it. And we can't think about, even though like your job actually is to preserve the history around the road projects. So the road projects is still a part of it. Like, you have to consider that.
Yeah, but if it was tied to the government, is there a possibility that these projects would just, you know, drop dead because somebody else got elected, funds got shifted or whatever through the government?
Well, that's the thing, is that it's more of the sense, the thing is, it's, even now, it's still all tied to the government. It's, I think, what his point is that he's also like the author of the article's talking about. It's like, yeah, he's basically talking about how he could write himself out of a job, but in the larger sense of being more efficient, it's like, why do we need all these consultants when it's like the DOT, if they put more staff in their own historians, none the way, like, it's an example of like you're saying, the extra layers of bureaucracy when it comes to how much bureaucracy is functional and to where bureaucracy gets to a tipping point of like almost total dysfunction.
I guess I wouldn't trust the government or look to the government for less bureaucracy.
Sure. And that may be like, I guess from his perspective too, it may be more of a resource efficiency rather than an efficiency to the end goal. But this other guy writes about how he used to build. He actually was he had a career in construction. He used to build attached 3-level townhomes in the Metro Denver area. He's now transitioned himself into being a substantial investor in the same projects. So now that he's not originally on the level of like ground level of like planning and building the actual townhomes and stuff. Now he's gotten himself up to the investor level of like who throws money at making these projects happen. He says like viewing our projects from a 30,000-foot perspective in a manner in which we interact with local government bureaucracies leaves me thoroughly discouraged that we will ever be permitted to meet the demands of the local market for anything approaching the numbers that would be required. Meaning the demand, he's talking about the housing shortage right now, and how we're like, there's this huge housing shortage, and that's why it's so expensive for properties. But to make those properties, it's like the reasons are complex. They're tied into the lack of productivity of local planning agencies that have to approve the adequate numbers of projects to build. They're tied into affordable housing initiatives and how those initiatives affect the housing supply. And they're also tied into dramatic increases for permitting fees for developers, which place unreasonable cost pressures on the overall viability of an entire project.
I disagree with a part of that. A part of what you're classifying. Affordable housing the definition for that has been changing drastically over the years.
And that's his point.
Housing. Yeah, there's affordable housing coming to my neighborhood, and it starts at $250,000 to $350,000.
Jesus Christ!
That's the affordable housing in my community. Yeah.
Well, my God.
When I read that, I was like, that's not affordable housing for anybody, but in my county, it is.
Wow.
So it's fucking. I'm like, but that's not affordable at all.
Well, relatively, it is though.
Relatively, it's affordable to the other properties.
$1 million homes. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like that is part of the point is that those affordable housing initiatives are another factor that slows down the development. And the thing is, there are some economists I've seen that talk about like the question of like, oh, we're not making enough homes, but like do people actually want more affordable homes? And when they mean people, they mean the investors, the investor class, like this guy is. And he's so discouraged by the slog of these different factors that like, if the investors who have the money that could just be like, yeah, bam, let's fucking pound out, some development and make housing because there's a demand for it. The people who already own the properties that are overpriced don't want property values to drop because the supply is increased.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which is kind of fucked.
Yeah,
for people who want affordable housing.
I think a lot of this stuff, though, and I mean, it really speaks to just in the American system or whatever, like dysfunction at a certain level provides gaps in safety nets for a lot of things too. Because if you just have like some fucking whatever psycho organization or something like that can just do whatever they want at lightning speed and nobody can do anything about it, that could be a problem.
Like some of the tech industries were.
Right.
And still have been.
Oh, certain aspects of every industry ruins them too. Like the insurance company ruins healthcare.
Yes, yes, it does.
You know what I mean? Dealerships ruin auto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the affordability of cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Because look at fucking. There was so much of a demand for those new Ford fucking EV trucks that there was a dealership that doubled the price of on their MSRP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the CEO even came out and he was like, "Oh, well, I think we're going to look into options for for Ford to not have dealers.
Yeah, you can
they're
buy
gonna
them
try to
direct, I
circumvent the
think.
Tesla pioneered that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tesla,
caused
yeah,
a
but that's the
huge
thing is
uproar.
there's actually laws
Yeah.
made by local governments because these dealers are so big that they own politicians locally. So these laws, where Tesla, they actually have to have a showroom in a lot of areas. You have to be able to go physically touch the car.
Touch the car, yeah.
Like that's one of the fucking rules, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, but what
in the
Tesla
sense
does
that
is
you
they don't necessarily keep them there. You can't drive away a Tesla from the dealership.
Yeah.
You go there and test it, and then you just order the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So they keep their costs down that way. But they still had to open brick and mortar fucking stores because these people, you know what I mean?
Because of the laws.
Because the Ford dealers is 20 times the size of the Tesla, and he doesn't want to fucking. He can't sell his shit online
after
like Tesla
the
does.
pandemic, the prices of cars jumped dramatically to the fact that to the point that used Teslas were going for more than new Teslas were,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
And,
Well, I remember
and they're like, oh, it's the chip shortage. Fuck that. It's like when they're like, oh, well, gas, it's just high because
That was such
of all this
bullshit.
production. Fuck off. It
Right.
is.
Yeah.
High because they want to make money off it.
It's high, yeah.
Their companies, they will ride. Basically,
Absolutely.
they'll ride the profits as long as they can until other competitors are
someone
finally
makes
like, you know what, we're gonna make
Or
this.
someone
cheaper.
makes them do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or the federal government goes, you know what? Maybe we'll look into this. Oh, all of a sudden gas goes down a fucking $1. Weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Like as soon as Biden was like, oh, we're going to look into fucking why these prices are so high. Shit, you not. Like a week later, gas prices were like, oh, they're down 30 cents already.
Oh yeah.
So Oracle, like it was the same thing with bullets. Like during the pandemic and stuff, bullets.
Oh, yeah.
You get a box of you're paying $50 for a box of 9mm bullets because they come usually $50 in a pack, and you're paying $1 a bullet for a 9mm round, which is unheard
outrageous.
of. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it was
Well,
outrageous.
yeah.
But people were paying it, and it's
In
it's just
America.
America. It's now starting to go down, but I mean, like if you find a pack of ammo for a pack of 9mm shells for under $25, I mean, that's a good deal.
Yeah, and
I mean,
the
shit.
thing is, like, you can find tons of 9mm. You can find like 223 and shit like that, but it is very hard to find just hunting rifle ammo right now. It's super
really?
fucking scarce because
Well,
the
just getting-
fucking
just getting AR
ammunition
like a real
companies are
American.
like, oh, well they'll buy this shit for fucking this jacked up price, so we're gonna make all these rounds, we're gonna make all this ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and these some of these big businesses, it's still, even to this day, like you'll find some of these industries where there's still actual price fixing schemes, but they kind of all like behind the scenes agree, like, oh yeah, we won't, like, our refining.
Absolutely.
We're under construction for our refining factory for the petroleum, so then we just can't make as much gas as we used to, and it's like, yeah, oh, you just happen to conveniently all be fucking fixing your refineries at the moment.
Yeah.
Fucks. The thing is, like, true cutthroat capitalism would be like, as soon as someone's dragging their heels and scraping like fat profit, someone would be like, I can do that for less than that and still make a profit myself. Fuck you, and undercut them.
Yeah.
But now that we got so many, whether it come to the airlines, so many industries have been consolidated because they just get bought up by the big fucks. So
Ashtray, how many drinks do you drink in an airport bar? I have a question.
Well, as many as I can.
I know, but like on average, like let's say you got there 2 hours before your flight.
Oh, that if I got there 2 hours before my flight, I would definitely at least get 3 in.
3? Okay, that's a lot less than I thought. This dude, my boss at work, was like, I got a friend who's, I think, has a problem. He showed me, the guy texted him the receipt from the airport that he was in. He was waiting for a flight in Boston. He bought
10
Oh
vodka
my
tonics.
God.
$128.
$128.
He was there
Oh
for
my
2
God.
hours.
Only for 2 hours. Jeez. I'm surprised the bartender. Well,
So I
okay,
told him, I'm like,
here's
hey,
the-
I got a friend who's basically a functioning alcoholic. I'll ask him how much he drinks in a bar.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like, Asher is saying like it's illegal in almost every state to serve somebody past it to the point of or past the point of intoxication. But if they're walking or getting on the plane, the bartender generally won't care as long as they have a tip.
yeah. I mean, I definitely
Which is kinda
understand.
fucked
As
up,
an airport
Yeah, then-
bartender, I would let you drink as much as
Yeah,
you could.
really.
But, man,
And
10
then-
drinks
and then
in
They might have
2
watered it down
hours?
too.
And then Google the story about how you fucking punched the stewardess because she wouldn't let you play your Switch in the
Yeah.
bath or something.
Or you end
The
up like my good buddy lives out in San Francisco, the poor bastard. He gets into these kind of scenarios where he gets too fucking wasted and like ends up getting in fucking weird trouble. Anyways, he was too drunk they wouldn't let him on the plane at the airport. And I get drunk before going on a plane, but I never get that drunk. Anyways, he somehow, like a cab driver, dropped him off under a bridge somewhere outside the airport.
Like next to a
And
tent
he wakes
city.
up and his laptop is stolen. Yeah. He ended up going through this crazy CSI kind of thing where like because he is a fucking Mac nerd, like he was able to figure out by like tracing the Wi-Fi signals in New York City. This is down in New Orleans where he like was not let on the plane. His laptop ended up in New York City, and he was able to triangulate with the Wi-Fi signals of these apartments around where his MacBook was opened up as they were trying to get into it. And he called a detective and provided all this information, and the detective was like blown away. By, like,
That's
what?
crazy
He's like,
because you'd think
Jesus.
some crackhead stole that. That crackhead
Well,
isn't
yeah,
fucking
Have you
flying to
heard
New York.
about because of the latest airlines losing luggage, people have been putting air tags, those Apple air tags on their luggage.
Apple AirTags.
Yeah, and somebody put an air tag on their luggage, and it was traced to a baggage handler's house, and they're sold like right, and they sold like $14,000 worth of stuff.
Wow.
Well, it makes you wonder. It's
it
like,
was-
is the guy watching the X-ray who's like, damn, I'm just gonna mark this one. It's like there's some hot shit in here.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking of
dysfunction
AirTags,
right there.
One of our clients or our customers who bought political signs up in northern Wisconsin, they were a bunch of them were being stolen. And of course, up in northern Wisconsin, the sheriff is like, well, both sides do it, It's like, no, I don't really care. So they started putting those air tags on them, and they actually caught the guy who was stealing these progressive.
Was it the
big
sheriff?
4 foot by 4. No, it wasn't the sheriff himself, but
It would have been fucking hilarious.
some Trumper. It would have.
Yeah, but it's all the darkies that are causing all the problems.
Yeah, especially in
you.
northern
It's
Wisconsin.
just a fact. All the crime is in black neighborhoods.
Yeah. All right. What time did we actually go live?
We've been on for 33 minutes.
33 minutes? Okay, let's transition then. Unless any of you guys have other
Did we ever talk
dysfunctional.
about it?
Yeah, we talked about the functional, dysfunctional aspects of America, and then we rambled on to some
Fucking
tangents.
with you, I know. Calm down. I like your new place. It doesn't seem like you're in a dungeon.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I got-
there's no hookers hanging like trapped in the basement. I like.
Well,
it's
he's
more-
got a bigger place now. They're in the other room.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I can keep them in a side room
Do you
without
have more?
them.
Do you have more than one bedroom?
Yeah, it's a 2-bedroom place with a dining room.
He's growing up right in front of her eyes.
know,
Right? Oh my god! I feel so happy for
I've
her.
got an actual bathtub now.
There's gonna be a girl walking. There's gonna be a girl walking by in a towel here and pretty soon. Like he's gonna
Yeah,
find
right?
somebody. Yeah, I feel so happy. I
64-year-old girl he met down at the bar.
Right? Her name's Petunia.
at the
Meat raffle.
Yeah.
Taking my teeth out, sweetie.
So my wife.
She
my
bought
wife
my
is
meat
enthralled.
sticks on credit.
Ashtray, my wife is enthralled about the meat raffle, and she wants to take a trip just to be a part of the meat
Oh,
raffle.
totally. See, you guys got to come up.
The fact that
the
she
meat
wants
raffle
to
sometime.
upsets me, but also turns me on.
It's a good
So-
time. Do it during
Like,
a
she
Packer
realizes
game.
They're not raffling off
Oh,
dick, right? Like it's not a
Yeah,
cock.
actually, Oracle's got a good point.
Type
During football season, during a Packer game, like, it's a fucking riot.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, you need to have a full Wisconsin experience. A Packer game meat raffle.
I'm not going to a Packer game. Fuck the Packers.
No, you don't have to go
But
to
you're
the
not
game.
going
You
to the
just go to the
bar.
bar.
Fuck the Packer game, going for the meat
Go to the
raffle.
bar meat raffle, and you're gonna watch the goddamn game.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe just go when the Packers beat the shit out of the Lions. Then you get to watch the Lions.
Yeah, because they cheated. We're not doing this.
Cheat.
Fuck. On to the what's sexy. Go.
On
go.
to what's sexy.
We're not doing this.
Oracles, quick and easy peasy.
Quick and easy peasy. Didn't know what I was going to cook tonight. Didn't know how I was going to do it. There was some chicken in the fucking fridge, some like thighs. And I was like, fuck. Normally I cook a lot of chicken in the air fryer, but I didn't want to do that. So I took this Pyrex fucking thing that you make like bread in. I stuffed the chicken in that, dumped a bunch of Thai peanut sauce on top of it, put a fucking aluminum foil on top, threw it in the oven for like an hour. It's fucking delicious. Easy. Tasted good.
Easy peasy. Now, what'd the wife think?
She liked it too. And I'm
That's
all
important.
about making meals that I don't have to really, mother over.
So
So-
just peanut sauce? You didn't
Just-
add like anything else to it?
Just peanut sauce.
Was it store bought peanut sauce? Or did you make your own?
Store bought.
Of course, it was store bought.
Yeah, I'm not making my own peanut
He can make it his
sauce.
own
I'm just
peanut.
asking. I'm
Probably
just
the
asking.
whitest thing I've ever heard someone say.
Not making fucking peanut sauce. What do you want me to fucking crush the peanuts?
Yes, I do.
Fuck that shit.
Put them on a pan with some
Teddy
butter.
has more culinary
Yeah,
respect.
Yeah, no
than we
way.
do.
No, my meals are crack a few cans, dump things in, throw it in, and then let it
Really?
do its thing. Yeah.
You gotta take like 2 or 3 hours to make dinner.
Oh hell
Should
no.
At least
Fucking
add
no,
salt,
dude.
Pepper and maybe some
Oh,
like.
yeah,
something else.
I always add other stuff. I love
Soy
my
sauce.
variety of seasonings. A little bit of Old Bay, maybe. A little bit of fucking
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know about Old Bay with peanut sauce.
Well, yeah, that might not be good, but I'm just saying, like,
He's just
Eddie, you
saying.
don't like Old Bay?
I'm so far in the south that I can't get Obey anymore. I had it when I was a kid, but I don't remember the taste of it because I'm so far in the fucking south.
kind of like a celery salt.
I know what it is, but I don't. I just asked
Tell
him
me what
if he
Old
made
Bay-
his own peanut sauce, and you're trying to mansplain what Old Bay is to me.
Sorry.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'm drunk
Oh, I
and
just missed my
stoned.
pick. I just missed my pick. You know, legit.
You're right. I tried to
Yeah, my
mansplain.
chicken last night.
Only
some
because I
bacon around
love
it?
the Old Bay.
Some asparagus in the middle.
Oh.
Anyway, are we doing this? Or?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
your
it.
show, Asher. What are we doing? Are we?
Well, easy peasy. Sorry. Moving along, Mystics.
it, man.
Boys, season
sauce on
whatever.
chicken? Yes.
Oh,
The
man.
Boys season
Season
whatever.
That's what it says here in the What's Sexy season whatever. I believe it's
Oh,
season 3
yeah,
right
so
now.
It is. Yeah, I just watched it. I know it's a little late. What do you need? Hold on a second.
What do you need? She needs season
she's
2
just all
and
up in
1.
my shit here.
Oh, I understand. She's all over the shit.
Talking about heaven.
I'm gonna load the bowl with some butter.
All right. Anyway, the
Bubba
vulgarity of the show keeps like upping itself about 20% every season.
Yeah.
And I like that. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, damn.
What is it going
When
to be
are they
like?
gonna do
Faces
that?
of Death next
Yeah,
season?
That's what I mean.
It's gonna be.
Well,
There was a scene where this chick,
Dude,
she was
Oracle, you don't even.
vigilant.
Okay.
Oh man,
Oracle,
not
you watched any of
Oracle?
it?
I've seen part of the first episode. I haven't seen
Oh
any
my
of it.
god!
Just the
Dude,
very
yeah.
first episode?
You need
Yeah.
to
Oh
watch
yeah,
the
you
show.
need to watch. It's worth it.
Like,
You
there's
know,
a chicken
Ashtray
hospital
watches
bed.
very little, but
Yeah, a chicken
There's
hospital.
two
bed. So
shows
it's-
that you definitely need to watch. It's always Sunny and
Great
The
show.
Boys because they are both
it's
right up
very
your
both-
fucking alley.
Mhm.
Comedy.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely.
yeah, where it's like so absurd that you're shocked yourself. Like what?
Dude,
Like
When
they
that
could
first
do that?
scene happened, when that first scene happened with the little shrinky guy,
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the first
yes,
episode?
yes.
Oh yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
gonna
paused
watch
it and I
it
was like,
then.
holy fuck.
I'm gonna rock your dick, babe.
Yeah, that is kind of like one of those. It's like
Oh
that
my
Chuck
God.
Palahniuk book, you know, Haunted,
Palahniuk?
where it's just like Palahniuk, whatever. Chuck Palahniuk is how I always pronounce it. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we
Yes.
know.
Where it's just like, oh.
Even that was this was fucking like the hero-gasm with the deep banging the squid.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The
And
octopus.
trying to have a threesome with his wife, bro.
Yeah, that was. I need this.
She wants to taste you.
She wants to taste you. Oh God.
It's a great show. It's the way
Oracle, you absolutely have.
you have to watch the show, bro. You have to.
Yeah, like I can't believe it's something.
You really have to. Bro. It's a real life.
It's so over the top. Well, Seth,
It's like if
Seth
you
Rogen
and it's like
isn't
if
Danny
you and
McBride part
I,
of it too?
No, I don't think so. It's like if you and me sat down and wrote a superhero show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like just the absurdity of a lot of it.
Like,
I haven't really watched a lot of stuff on Amazon Prime. I think after Man in the High Castle took a shit, I kind of distrusted
It totally
Amazon
took a shit.
Prime.
I was thinking about rewatching the show because I haven't finished it, and then you all tell me to take a shit. So
It took a
What's
hard
that one,
fucking
that
shit.
military one with Krasinski?
Oh,
It's
I haven't
that
seen
fucking,
that. Isn't that like a
it's
Tom
not the
Clancy
Jack
thing?
Reacher. It's not the Jack Reacher one. It's the it's the Tom Clancy.
I know what you're talking about.
What the fuck
It's,
Is that good?
Ryan
Yeah,
something.
I thought it was
Oh,
good.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
I
Jack
I
Ryan,
really haven't given Prime its due.
It's got decent shows.
It's
Yeah.
got some decent shows on it.
The Expanse
Yeah.
too. You
Seth
watch
Rogen
Oh, The
is,
Expanse. Okay,
Yeah, The
yes, that
Expanse
is
fucking
one
awesome.
that I did really enjoy.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is the producer. He's also in the last season too. You remember that part?
Oh, he was the guy like watching the webcam.
Yeah, when
For
he
the
went,
old,
he was
like,
trying to
fucking
get Crimson
superhero.
Countess to stick those fucking anal beads up her ass.
Yes, I forgot. I was like, oh my god, that is Rogen.
Like,
He's
I
like,
mean,
are you
about
still
you.
there?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I would say it's like The Watchmen, where
this
it's kind of
trap
like
is the end.
superheroes in real life, but like to 11.
Yeah, this one goes to 11.
Yes, goes to 11.
But this one goes to 11. Anyway, The Boys. Watch it.
The boys.
All right, moving along to Teddy, who's blank and is what's sexy.
It should say the giant slide. Okay,
The giant slide.
the giant slide.
You had that in your fuck what you think.
It is a motherfucker you think. Okay, now explain it.
Ooh, it's a two-parter.
It is. Okay. So the giant slide, it's been in the news lately. It used to be yellow. Apparently they paved.
Tell us what it is. Is it a ride?
Yeah, what's the giant slide?
It's a huge.
Before you tell us the color.
bumpy, it's a huge bumpy slide. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how high it is. I
Like the
remember.
ones that are at the fairs and shit, you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about? Where
yes.
you like
Where
sit
you
on
ride
a rug.
So
Oh,
there's
you
is there
ride,
water
fucking-
on it?
No, there's no water.
Okay,
It's-
no water.
You go up. You walk
Potato
up the
sack
stairs.
down.
You walk up the stairs, you sit in the scratchiest potato sack ever created by man.
Yep.
No matter which one you choose, it's the scratchiest potato sack created by man.
Where's
And
the
it's right-
location of the giant slide?
The giant slide, the one that I'm talking about is a permanent fixture in Belle Isle. It's in Detroit. I rode this many times when I was a kid. Many times.
What
It
is
used to
Belle
be-
Isle? Is it a,
Belle Isle is an island in the middle of the Detroit River.
Is it
I
between Detroit and Canada then? Or?
I believe so. Here we go. Belle Isle.
it's funny because it's the name
Yeah.
of the plantation that Chevy Chase inherits in Fletch 2.
Does it really?
Yeah.
It's,
said Belle
here,
Isle.
I'll share this. Here, I'm going to share this with the in the chats here. So Oracle, you'll put this up. Roll
Yeah,
that.
Oracle.
Do you finish? Boom. Yeah.
Roll
Put it
it.
up, Oracle.
All right,
Anyway.
give me a second here.
So I used to swim on Belle Isle when I was a kid. I used to, I've written this slide a bunch of times, but it was in the news recently for people,
Damn, that
going
looks
up and
fucking
down.
nice.
Oh yeah.
They held the Michigan Grand Prix there a couple years. I think one was 2014, and the other time was 2016.
This must be the slide.
Oh, is that where they have the Detroit Grand Prix?
Yes.
Oh, that's in downtown.
Well, they held it on Belle Isle 2 years. One
What
was
are these,
20
piranhas?
Piranhas. That's part of the slide.
I put the location of the slide of Belle Isle on the. I googled
Oh, you
Belle
put
Isle.
is the marker right there? Can I drop my little?
Oh yeah, that's what I put in the thing.
No, I'm in the middle of the wood.
They do have a zoo there. They have a bunch of other stuff you can do. I used to swim Belle Isle. But these retards that are riding the slide, it used to be yellow. Apparently they made it faster. But
By what? Changing the color?
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what happened.
It used to be yellow, but they made it faster.
Right. Like I said the other day, I heard about all these people like hitting the bumps. We used to try to stand
Now
up on this shit.
infrared.
Okay. We used to try to stand up on this shit when I was a kid, just to outdo our friends.
Did you get yelled at by the
Oh yeah, we
person
did.
handing out
Yeah,
the
but
rice sack?
It's like but it's like $1 a ride.
Damn, that's what they
was-
changed it. Oh my god, this looks horrible.
Did you share
It
the
was like
picture?
$1 a ride. Yeah, share a picture
It's like
on
a
the feed.
fucking corrugated steel now.
It's always been that whole little like
Jesus
that shit. It's
Christ.
just yellow. You see the fucking.
Wait, so did they actually change it, or did they actually just strip the paint off so it's actually slippier?
I think they stripped the paint off.
Holy
Unsafer?
fucking
That could be
shit.
it.
That looks horrific.
If they didn't alter it, maybe they did. They stripped the paint off, which would change how much friction there is
my
between you and your
God.
rice sack.
Look at the
So people are getting
gap.
hurt now.
Look at the gap between the steel on this thing.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay.
Okay, this is what it
Belle
was
Isle means
before.
Beautiful island.
Yeah, I think they stripped the paint off of
What do,
it.
you mean, what do you mean gap between the steel? Okay, so there. Okay, that's the old yellow picture I used to ride.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah, they probably just fucking put like lacquer thinner on and stripped all
Right.
that old paint off, and now it's like super slippery.
Yeah. I mean, that looks terrifying.
Like
So are
yeah,
people getting hurt?
motherfuckers going flying. Like there are kids catching air, like banging heads and shit.
Are there TikTok
But-
videos of it? 'Cause I
Okay,
won't-
that's gonna be part of.
I only trust TikTok
My
videos
what's
now.
sexy is how fun that slide was to me as a kid. My fuck would you think would be how they fucked
how
it
they
up.
fucked it up.
Yes. Okay. Let's keep moving, Ashtray. Your show. Let's go.
Word. All right. Moving along to myself, the ashtray.
Keep her moving.
Keep it moving, buddy.
I just got text today. The owner of Star Liquor, they need fucking another. They're already out of my lights again, and I refilled them like 3 weeks ago. And it's like,
Jeez.
Jesus. Yeah. He's like,
You're
holy
gonna
shit.
have to fucking hire
Moving on.
somebody.
Hotcakes. So, and
AKA me.
he wants to, well, I need the talent of little hands, so maybe we use child labor from your children. But
If I
yeah,
can get my lights down here in Tennessee and started in the South, how much of a cut would I get? I mean, like 3%, 5%.
oh, I know that's the thing is
What
like I
is Ted
have
looking
to.
at?
I realize that's something I'll have to try to think about is because I know when I try to have sets outside of Madison where it's just like I don't have me or some representative like keeping tabs on the case, it just doesn't work. When you don't have like a distributor who
Well,
actually
I
and no,
be
that's
that
what
guy.
that's what I mean. So yeah, that's all things I got to fucking try to learn about how you set those kind of things up. But yeah, he also wants to get a box in at the Ohio. So yeah, man, what's sexy is like fucking shit's selling like the momentum. Yeah, at least here in Madison is super hot, and that was the whole point of going through this bullshit process of moving into a new place, so I can have a bigger production space and make more lighters. So knock on presswood, I can keep up with that momentum. Moving along.
Tell you what, you give me some cocaine all night long, and I'll come help you.
Right.
Just fucking,
Just how many fucking wrap titties
you
around
just cut them
lighters.
out, shit. I'll just fucking glue it and do whatever.
True,
Work the
yeah.
Machines.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
Snort
It's
a
kind
line every once in a while.
it is like it is a production kind of process where there are stages where it's like, yeah, you don't have to be like fucking nuanced in the procedure to do it. It's like putting like the stickers on the bottom, you know? It's like you just got to be able to put a sticker on straight. Can you do that? And if it's
I
not
can do
straight,
that.
can you adjust it? Tell it straight. Like,
I can.
Oh God, I hope he can.
so yeah, maybe I'll invite you over for some cocaine lighter parties.
All right.
Moving along to
Fuckers.
fuck what you think. Oracle with the 12 gauge fecal spray.
What, bro?
Yeah. So I cleaned the cat's box, and then like an hour later, we've got like a laundry room area where we've got the cat's box. I've got some like rubber mats down to catch all the litter. And I go in there.
You have stuff up on the walls.
Shit
Nope,
on the
fatal
walls.
mistake.
Shit.
Fucking
No,
shit.
yeah, you got shit on the walls
Dude,
now.
it was sprayed within like a 6-foot radius on the floor, on the walls, going vertically.
She really hunched her back there, didn't she?
Yeah.
Which one was it? Do you know?
I think it was Winnie because she's the one with the plant problem. Like she is constantly trying to eat the plants and shit, and they fuck her up every time. But yeah, I gotta put something up on the walls and shit because fucking A, this was ridiculous.
That's
mean,
weird, dude. I've never had a cat that gives you as many problems as your cats do.
This was the worst by
crazy.
far. I mean,
You
this
just
was
have like
like
kind of farm cats.
no,
Oracle. I
they're-
mean, Mystic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Your guys are just like weird runs. Yeah, they're the best ones.
Okay, so
Oracle and his purebred cats.
I don't think they're purebred.
I know. I'm getting the shit.
okay, so being in the restaurant business, do you all
No, we don't
women's
like cat
bathrooms?
shit.
Women's bathrooms more dirty than men's bathrooms.
really.
Are they
Yeah.
more dirty? No, they're cleaner. Are you kidding me?
No, they're more in
In
my
the restaurant and like
in
bar
my
industry.
in my restaurant and bar industry
Maybe in nasty
experience.
ass Tennessee.
Oh, fuck you, bro.
What are they like?
serious.
Okay,
That's
this
what-
Every
party.
bathroom I've ever
Describe
been in is way
dirtier.
cleaner than a men's.
So like when you're describing the 6-foot radius of spray around
What the
around the bathroom.
fuck?
Cleaning the actual toilet.
Yeah.
is what he's talking
I mean, yeah, it is fucking like they spray. 'Cause men might piss over the seat and miss stuff, but women will just shit all over the toilet.
about. There's shit.
What
And-
the
and- and-
fuck?
and-
It's a wide radius.
It's
What fucked up bathrooms?
I don't, bro. I'm not.
It's reality. He's not
swear to God,
choosing who shits in it.
I mean, I'm not.
General public does.
Shit's right. I mean, yeah.
No,
It's an
I know.
observation.
I've never seen that.
How many women's toilets have you scrubbed, Mystic? In the
20.
public, like at Pizza Hut.
You say 30?
You would think
One.
Pizza
At
Hut would
Pizza
have
Hut,
some
I've
fucking
worked at like 8
s-
different fucking Hardee's.
yeah
Oh, okay, the Hardee's.
Plenty
I
of
These are
guess.
bathrooms with my
prime
daughters.
candidates.
Like,
Yeah, I
I
guess.
don't
If you've cleaned,
understand.
if you're Hardee's,
Well,
restaurant, maybe it is
apparently
Nashville.
bitches in Nashville are fucking dirty.
They're
as shit.
nasty. as
Well, they're
fuck.
probably
Bachelorette.
drunk, and
Bachelorette.
they're probably
Bachelorettes.
there on a fucking a bachelorette party, been drinking for
On a Coke
days,
bender.
For days.
and then eat a big ass pizza and fucking
Yeah.
just
On a
eject.
bender.
You
Yeah.
got some nasty bitches down south. I guess.
Apparently, yes. I thought,
So,
like,
Anyways,
I've used women's bathrooms and shit. It's just dirty here. I guess.
to Oracle's
dirty.
main story, though, the 12 gauge fecal spray. What was, like, did this just
I'm
happen?
thinking
Like,
with
do you
a
know?
woman's
Are they
ass,
sick
dude,
or
so-
what?
This
like-
is
Said she likes to
every
eat
time. Every time she eats fucking plants, she'll eat the fucking ferns and shit, and then she'll fucking have diarrhea.
Jeez.
Like it's a continuing problem. Yeah.
Some fake plants, I
Dumb
guess.
cats.
Right.
Yeah. Have you tried the cat grass distraction?
We haven't tried that. Maybe that's the next step here.
I mean, I only in a sense that, like, I would assume cat grass is a little more tolerable
Mhm.
because they do actually feed them that shit. But I don't know. I'll be honest. Like, I do miss having cats, but at the same time, like, man, I had to babysit my fucking coworker's cats for a week while he was on vacation, and it's like, Jesus, Murphy, like, I don't miss any of this shit.
Animals again.
Yeah, well,
My
yeah.
daughters are gone. I'm never getting I'll get a pet rock. It's the only pet.
Yeah. Right?
I
Fucking ridiculous.
agree.
I want to
That's my
take care of
son.
them.
Like, no more pets. I don't need them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have the time. Don't have time, please fucking put up with these little fucking...
I just don't give a fuck.
Right? Speaking of not giving a fuck, we're gonna move
Especially
to
for
Mystic.
a cat who doesn't care if I fucking
Yeah.
live or die.
Yeah.
You know? What now? What's my fuck? What you think?
Your fuck what you think? Social media.
Social media. Yeah. Basically, just a blanket fuck it to social
right?
media.
Everybody can agree with it.
Like,
Fuck
it's
social
stupid.
media.
I'll
I'll still
is
check it every day. But
one
fuck
of the
it.
dumbest things. Like, I was reading this article tonight, right? About. Okay. The headline, I'm just going through fucking Google, like, these recommended articles. And, like, the headline on this article was Gen Zers are recognizing a millennial fucking something that millennials do when they record videos, right? That, like, millennials, I guess, like, make sure that it's recording, right? Like, and they leave it on the video. So it's like something that these kids are, like, making fun of older people for. You know what I'm saying?
Making fun of millennials because, like, we're like, is this thing on?
Like, think about what you're fucking making fun of these people for. You know what I mean? It's the same concept as when people were like, "Oh man, I'm so much better than you at this video game." Cool. You have more time to blow than me. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Matters.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well,
it
you know,
doesn't.
it's
None of it matters.
It's probably akin to, like, certain old generations. You know, probably were, you know, the old generations would always be like, "Can you hear me?" You know, like, talking on the old-timey telephones.
That's what it
It's
is.
like, you don't have to say that anymore.
It's like social media. It just invades our fucking lives. Like,
well,
like you
because we
said
keep
before,
looking at
is
it.
there
Only-
a TikTok
only if you
about
let
it?
it,
Like,
though.
who gives a fuck?
Only
Eddie's
if you
right.
let it.
Absolutely, I don't.
But
That's
I
what I
don't-
mean. I feel, I just don't fucking care anymore
Yeah.
about it. You know, I
Care
don't go on
enough to-
Facebook, Twitter, or fucking.
And my problem is, like, what?
Because,
your
like, people
daughters-
rely on it too much, man.
Like, your youngest kid's like what, like 9 or 10, Mystic?
12.
12. Okay. Okay. So my son has a phone now, and he can't get on social media, but I'm trying my best to convey to him or teach him how to not care about other people's opinions.
Oh God, it's gotta be hard.
Because it is because he's in elementary school right now, but he's gonna go on to middle school, and at some point it's hard. I want to know, you know.
Well, you
Well,
need to
because
teach
as
him,
a
too,
kid-
like, that shit will stay for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? That's always going to be out there. Like, if he says something stupid online, you know what I mean?
See, you just got to go all the way with it.
Look at how many. I guess it's like, I have not watched Euphoria at all, but
Leaked into it.
like one of the clips I saw where it's just like there's like this narrative, like narration to it, where it's just like, you know, nudes are our currency of love. It's just like, oh Jesus, is this really what all the fucking high school kids are doing now? It's just like, I can't imagine
Most
just like.
hated man on the internet. Have you guys seen that?
What?
No,
What
is
is
it
it?
The most
documentary?
hated man on the internet.
Is it the
Three-part
revenge porn?
documentary about that dude, that revenge porn guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hunter Moore. He's a piece of shit. Total piece of shit.
Yeah. But the
What?
idea
Can I
too of trying to
watch
keep
that,
a kid
documentary?
to. The thing is, fortunately, it's like, I don't think it. Can you actually teach someone to not give a fuck about how other people feel or think about them until after they get old enough to realize, yeah, you know what?
That it doesn't
I was
matter.
actually weighed
I
down.
don't think you can, but it's I'm trying my best. I ain't trying my fucking best, bro.
Try your best, man.
I mean,
Gonna move along to me, Ashtray. My fuck, what you think? Let's just say unpacking and moving. Keep it short and simple. Sucks. I'm still in the middle of it, and running. You know, when I work stupid late. It's hard. At least I don't have any wife or girlfriend to bitch about. Instead, I could just blame her for not getting it done while I'm still at work. Moving along. Teddy. Giant slide.
Okay,
So
I've got
my
some video.
childhood fun. You got some video?
Yeah.
Awesome. Was turned into a fucking nightmare because cats were catching air off the shit. And when I was younger and dumber, like I said earlier in the what
Yeah, you stand up on it.
We dared each other to stand up,
Jesus,
and we get yelled at and things like that. But I don't remember the paint being off of it. It used to be yellow, but this smooth aluminum wax shit they did, not smart.
Now, are there stories about people complaining about getting hurt on it now since they've changed it? Or are you projecting this idea just based upon how they changed the color?
No. I'm just the fact that this slide is in the news is why.
Oh, it is in the news because people are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people it wasn't in the news when people were having fun on Belle Isle for years, but it was in the news with black folks catching air and banging their fucking heads on.
Oh, just black folks are getting the news stories?
We're in Detroit. Okay.
Well, it's Detroit. Yeah.
It's Detroit,
Well,
bro.
yeah.
Okay.
The white people own the fucking park there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I guess
don't
when you
actually
say
go
it, when you
to
said it, like because black folks are catching air, like as in, oh well, now black folks are invading the island because the slide's cool. What's the?
They're not invading. Why? They're not invading the fucking island. What the fuck?
That's what I was trying to
Shithead
understand.
piece of shit.
Dude, Teddy, if it leads, it bleeds. If it bleeds, it leads, bro.
Yeah, no, I would say like the
So
stories.
I
are
mean,
just
if
based on the
somebody's
fact that
getting
more
hurt,
people are
they're
getting
going to be
hurt.
covered.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You own-
If nobody's getting hurt on some slide, why would a fucking somebody go there?
Yeah.
I am.
Because
Well,
it's-
you're right. They probably tell all their friends, just like the Kia boys. You know, they get fucking in an accident, but like that was so awesome. Let's do it again.
Have you guys ever heard of Class Action Park?
Yes,
Oh, I
it's
wanna
great.
See. I still have not watched
It's
it.
Have you
fantastic.
seen that documentary?
It's on HBO
Yeah.
Max. Watch it.
Yeah, it's fucking great. If you haven't seen it, you've
it's
seen it,
great.
Oracle?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
so good, dude.
It's
Really
great,
good.
but terrifying because you look,
Oh, absolutely.
think of how many parks there are in the United States,
Right.
and how many of those parks that are operating right now that are like that park. It's fucking terrifying.
I don't know if any of them were like this park, man. That dude. Like, these motherfuckers are taking the governors off of the fucking go-karts and racing cars down the highway and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was some lawless fucking Lord of the Flies type of shit.
Yeah. What state was that
16-year-olds
in?
in charge.
New Jersey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
New Jersey. Oh God, New Jersey always seems
Actually,
like
no,
the
I think it was
Georgia
New York,
of
wasn't it?
New England.
Upstate New York. Or maybe it was Jersey. I don't remember. It was
All
in that
right.
area.
We'll have our listeners will correct us in the notes. All right, no seriousness. Go fuck yourself, Chef Boyardee.
You go fuck a shelf, you sons of bitches.
That's our show. We're gonna be here every Wednesday or Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure to join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. You could also fuck us at Twitter because we don't care, or use it. Like us,
social
share, so
media.
fuck us. Yeah, fuck social media, but join us and follow us on it.
Yeah.
We're down with whatever
But go on Facebook. It's fun.
on the ashtray.
I'm Oracle.
Hate it while you do it, though.
All right, you cucks. Who's gonna wait longer?
What? Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, and I'm Teddy.
Go
fuck yourself, crackers.
All right.
I didn't hear you guys.
And this is
Yeah.
the Red Eye Report.
Listen to it.
I was too busy opening my Kindle.